Hello, Flosstube. I am Teresa. Welcome back to the Garden Goose Stitcher. It's hard to say that, actually. I want to say thank you very much. 11 people subscribed to my silly little channel. I appreciate that very much. One of them was my husband. It took him, I think, 4 days to figure out what I named it. Anyway, so thank you for coming back. And I've been stitching this week, and I had a correction. If you didn't see it in my description box from last week, I had a correction. The virtual event happening in December is called the Jingle Ball, and you can find out more from Lindy Stitches. And guess what? Not only do I know now that it is for sure the Jingle Ball, not the Christmas balls, I got some merch. I ordered the merch. So I got an email the other day that they had merch for the Jingle Ball, so I ordered a shirt. I got the mauve, and it's got this on the back, and then it's got the little logo. You can find out more on jingleball.net. I think there's gonna be lots of meet and greets, and I haven't gotten into a class. They fill up real fast. I think that they said there was going to be an ornament for everyone. Like I don't know. Anyway, Jingle Ball. I'll be there. You might see me in a stitching room. I don't really know how it works. I think that people stitch in like Zoom rooms. I don't know. Okay. I'm not sure. But I'll be there with my shirt on. Oh, and then I'm going. But then my husband found out he has to go down to Florida on the 3rd for work. He works for an airline, and he needs to go down for like a 2-day training. And so since he was going down to Florida, he suggested that my son and I also go with him. So now I'm going to miss part of the ball because I'll be flying down to Florida, which is a shame. But our flight doesn't leave till like 7 p.m. No, I have no idea actually now. I don't know. That might be a different trip. We're going on a cruise in February, and I think that flight leaves at 7 p.m. I have no idea what time we leave. I should ask. I was just like, Florida, yes. Yes. I'll go. I just like the warmth. So I'm going to miss part of the ball. But if it's virtual, I can take it with me, right? So anyway, I think it'll be fun. So, Jingle Ball. I hope to see you there. Just don't tell Lindy Stitches that I called it the Christmas ball. That's mortifying. Anyway, so let's talk about my stitching, shall we? That's a nod to some of my favorite people. Pam and Steph. Do you watch them? You should. They have so many catchphrases that, like, I find myself just saying them. Anyway, so I worked on this. I think I talked about this last week. I know I did the little flippets, but I decided to stitch this string, and I've been working on it just here or there, and I got a little bit done through J. I've been a tad scattered on the stitching front, so I've been like 4 things I worked on this week. So my strings, thankful string was one of them. Worked on that. Then I've been working on this. I started this at the retreat the Stitches and Things had. The Camp Stitch a Lot is what she calls it. And so when I went, I took that whip with my Halloween rules, and I told myself, okay, if you finish a box, then you can start some new stuff. So I started this Little House Needleworks, and it's the Autumn Band Sampler. I just bought these. They're from 2011. I think they're adorable. I think I only had, actually, I had a decent amount done. So, from the retreat, I think I had stitched the bottom. I think I had this red line, and I had 1 acorn. So this week, stitch a little bit more. I like this one. This is on 18 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed, and I really, really I told you last time, I really love 18 count. And so I like how tiny it is. It's so petite. I like it a lot. I keep it in this project bag I made. It's made out of Fig Tree Co. fabrics. I recently purged almost all my Fig Tree Co. fabrics because I have a tiny sewing room. This little crafty space, I know other people don't have one at all. And I shan't be complaining, but let me inform you that it's 8 foot by 9 foot. Like when the movers came and were dropping off our stuff, and I said, oh, the little room upstairs, and they said the closet, because it's quite small. When my husband put in built-in cabinets for storage, we pimped out the, I don't know, people talk about pimping organization out, but we pimped out the closet full of organization for my fabric and stuff. And then I have this really nice countertop for cutting and pressing, and I have a TV hung up, and it's really nice, but it is small. It is really small. So I recently sent my Fig Tree Co. hoard of fabric to a friend, and I know she'll use it, or maybe her and her mom will use it, I'm not sure. But I did keep this really pretty fabric, and I made a pouch, or a project bag, and I used Elizabeth Ann Kinsow's tutorial, and I think there's a mix match of fabrics in there. I don't know, I use fat quarters. And these are those Lori Holt zippers that like go both ways. And they're cute. I thought they were really cute. I recently made like 9 project bags all in one burst. Here's my plan. I wanted to make my friend a project bag for her birthday. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to make project bags, I obviously should make a whole bunch. So I did. And I made matching cross-stitch clutches. But I haven't finished the clutches, so there's still a stack waiting. But someday there'll be a matching clutch. And until then, listen, I sometimes have time management problems. My other whip this week, because on Wordplay Wednesday, I stitch that month's wordplay. I got this just in the nick of time. It's part of my haul, technically. But I'm using a thread conversion. It's probably from Penny's daughter. Penny something. Penny. I don't know. She has great, she's sewn or stitched the series. And I love her thread conversions. They're very bright. So I only got a tiny bit done. Tiny bit. Like the ink of thanks. In the of pie. Of pumpkin. But it's better than nothing. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and last Wednesday we went to my niece's district volleyball match. She's like this amazing volleyball player. Like, it helps that she has like legs that come up to here on me. Like, her legs are so long. She's like as tall as my husband. And she's going to play college volleyball next year. But this was her last, like, high school volleyball. So we all went to the district tournament, or whatever. It was Wednesday night, which is my normal Wordplay Wednesday stitching. But anyway, it was great to watch her. There was this, like, this big rivalry. And, like, it was, I don't know, something like the gym doesn't have any circulation. It was hot and sweaty in there. It's disgusting. We were just sitting there watching these young women play volleyball, and I was like, I gotta go home and take a shower because we were all just sweating. My son who plays hockey was like, this is disgusting. I'd rather be on the ice any day. And I was like, I'm gonna admit that I would prefer the ice. It was so ungodly hot. My mom had warned me, thankfully, but I did not understand what she meant. Anyway, so this Wednesday I should have more stitching time because I'm not going to a volleyball tournament. And it went all 5 matches. And I don't know, I had to go pick up my parents. Anyway, so this Wednesday looks more promising. But I wanted to show you, because I stitched on my Wordplay Wednesday with my girlfriend Kristen. I met her a long time ago. 10 years ago. I think it's been 10 years. When we were our husbands were both stationed at Ellsworth Air Force Base. And I met a lady at playgroup, and she knew that woman from playgroup, and then I think we met for the first time at a bunco for on base, like military wives. And I don't know. It just, so we keep in touch a lot. She lives in Colorado. I live here. She moved, I don't know, but for a long time I taught her how to quilt. For a long time Kristen and I had nightly or weekly sewing together, like quilting, and I really think it kept me sane for that specific time in my life when my life was especially chaotic. And she has a son, and a couple years ago my husband went to get his eyes LASIK'd in Colorado, and so we got to like visit with them, and I've gone down and stitched once with her, like just for the weekend. And anyway, so then I got her on cross stitching, and I don't think she regrets it. I'm very good at peer pressure. I don't know if it's fair warning. I don't know. It's a good trait about me, I think. But anyway, so I got her to start cross stitching, and so she does it a lot. And so she's stitching Wordplay Wednesday with me. And so when we decided to do it, when I talked her into it, I made us matching project bags. This is from my Corey Yoder line. I think it's Cozy Up. For sure. And it's got like I have a fat quarter bundle, so I had to like patch things together. And I think Kristen's has the gingham that goes with this line. So we have matching project bags and matching cross stitch clutches, which I made us to go so that when we're stitching we have matching stuff. And then, so Wordplay Wednesday, I don't know how many months I did it, and then my friends from Texas, Lisa and Megan, they decided to start Wordplay Wednesday. Did I mention them last week? I think I did. But they started last month with January. So somehow I have a feeling they're going to finish their series before me. And that doesn't make any sense because I started like 10 months ahead of them. But I don't know. Just the way that they have it timed out, I kind of get the feeling that they're going to finish it before me. I don't know. It's not a race. But it's always a race. But it's not a race. But if it were, I think I'm losing. Anyway, so I stitched on my Wordplay. I stitched on my sampler, my band sampler, and my string. And then I also wanted to tell you about this other project. Also, I'm very sorry that in my last video when I was talking about my snow day project, I accidentally flashed the back of that thing like 4 times. And I know that it's naughty. And I also didn't mean to do it. And also I didn't know how to edit that stuff out. So I'm so sorry. Thanks for not commenting about it though. Because whenever somebody posts a pattern in a group, I literally am like, how many minutes ago was this posted? Somebody will be on it right now. People are on that. You can't show charts. Everybody knows, but it's hard doing Flosstube. Anyway, so I showed you this last week. And I said, oh, I stitched January, and then I immediately regretted it. And I sure as heck haven't. And so, but I went and I found out that I have stitched November and December. And I also think that's inaccurate. I also think I stitched another one. But now I think it's like May. I need a chart. I should ask my husband, since his love language is spreadsheets, I should ask him to make me like a monthly series checklist because I don't know what's going on usually. But I'm stitching the big ones. I have the best of intentions to stitch the big ones. And so November's up right now. So during school, I like to stitch on a prairie schooler, and I call it my schooler during school. So I did September and October. I didn't finish them, but I got pretty good well along in the pattern, considering. And so this month during Nate's doing homeschool, and if I have downtime where I just need to sit and wait and make sure he doesn't just, I don't know, 1 minute they're doing math, the next thing they're like searching game stuff. I don't know. Somebody has to be in the area. But so I started this one this week. Did not get very far. I didn't get it up until last Thursday. So technically, but I got a little bit done. This was one of those fabrics that came in those pouches that I got from the thrift store a heck of a long time ago. And then I didn't like how light it was, and I knew obviously I wanted some, I like that old and crusty stuff. So I ended up taking it out and spraying it with Instant Antique, the primitive gathering stuff. I like it a lot. I sure do. But it does come out kind of like soy sauce. I don't like, you know, like, I don't know. So, you know how when you like shake soy sauce out, it like, it's kind of like that. Like the droplets. There's no rhyme or reason to it that I can find. But I do think it looks nice. I got a little bit of the bottom done. Just like this week. I was going to show you the bag. Because I love it when people share their project bags. So hopefully you do too. This is what I made during my bag bonanza. It's got a Lori Holt Churn Dash Scrappy Cheater fabric. I don't know what's in there. Oh, it's just like got little X's on it. So cute. I got this fabric at my local needle workshop. I used to have, listen, this is a PSA if you're a quilter. Okay. I used to have the most excellent needle workshop in South Dakota. And it's called the Bakery Fabrics, and it's in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. It's a hike, but it's 100% worth it. And Annie runs the shop, and she is one of the most incredible humans. And her shop is beautiful and amazing and welcoming and cozy. And like one time I took I always thought like maybe I just am like partial to it. You know, I've been to some great shops, but this one I was just always telling people, you gotta go to the bakery. And I took my sister-in-law when she came to visit for Christmas one year or something. I don't know when she was visiting. And I walked to the back where Annie has all of her fat quarter bundles and like her pre-cuts and stuff. And my sister-in-law was just like sitting on the ground with her like preliminary choices on the ground. And I was like, yeah, this is the best shop. So I was very nervous about moving back to Michigan. I knew there was a needle workshop, but it took me a long time to even go look because I was so terrified that it would be a disappointment. And it's a very lovely shop. It's called Linda's Country Quilts. Linda is fantastic. The first time I went in there, like we just chatted for a long time. She has great selections. She actually has a lot of reproductions, like Civil War reproductions, and that's not usually my jam. But hers are so vibrant in color. I was like, where do these come from? I've never seen these before. Usually, you know, there's just browns and tans and stuff, but these are like the most vibrant oranges and blues and pinks and purples. And so I feel like someday there's going to be a Civil War reproduction in my future unexpectedly, because that's not normally my jam. But anyway, so I got this up there. She has Lori Holt. She has a lot of Corey Yoder. She has fun stuff. It's a good quilt shop. If you're ever in Davison, Michigan, you should stop into Linda's. And again, if you're in South Dakota, or really if you're in Wyoming, because it's right near the border, basically if you're touching a state that's near South Dakota, you should probably go. It's worth the hike. So anyway, so that was my schooler during school. So if I have November and December done, then technically maybe I could like get this one done. You know what I mean? Because I have technically this month and next month to stitch on it during school. Although we do have 2 breaks. We have Thanksgiving break. We're taking a week off. And then we have, obviously, Christmas break. So I think I have one more. My whip co. One more whip. So on I've gotten 3 hours in. They're more than 3 hours, but I count at least an hour. These are actually probably more representative of Hallmark movies, because this weekend my son had 2 hockey games. One was down in Farmington Hills, and then the other one was home. But I had enough time to catch up on my Hallmark movies. So I did get 3 Hallmark movies worth of my old Christmas tree. Also, I did some snooping, and I think that this pattern is Old Christmas Tree by All Through the Night Folk Art Designs. By Bonnie Sullivan. It's from 2013. I think that Kimberly Jolly might have stitched this. Fat Quarter Shop did sell a kit. They do not sell the kit now. And it took me a lot of scrolling to find it. And it seems like maybe she stitched it for either like a, I don't know, what they used to call it. Like it was Christmas in July or into December. Now it's housewives stuff. I don't think it was back then. But anyway, so this kit, it came with Lori Holt 25 count Lugana. Is it Lugana? I don't know. And the Weeks Dye Works is Bayberry. It is so pretty. And then so then I was looking at it and I was like really trying to figure out what was I thinking? I do know why. I have no idea. It's because I bought this in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep one night. So that's why I had no idea what it was. It was, I bet you it was a kit that was on sale. And I don't know how I ended up there, but I bought it. And it's been under the bed. So last time I only had this little bit right here, like a little bit right here. And then I filled this in. I ended up measuring all the way up to make sure I had the height so I could trim off the excess, because I had a humongous piece of fabric here that it was a bear to wrestle. So I got a bunch of my bottom bows done, and then I did a little bit up there, but I do so love the variation in this Week Dye Works. I think like the pot. See, isn't it pretty? I love it. Oh, but then I was really looking at what it was, and it started off as 5 skeins, and I have 2 left in a little bit. And that doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense now, does it? There's no way that this is like 2.5 skeins. That can't be. So either I took one for something else and I have no recollection of it, and then I'm concerned about buying another, I guess I should just take it into my local needlework shop and see how much the dye might have changed, because what if it was totally wacky? I guess it could accommodate it. I don't know. What was I thinking? This is why people have like those journals that I probably should get. So, okay, so those are my whips. If Pam and Steph were here, they'd have that whip sound effect. I don't. Just envision it. But my next thing is a finish. During a Hallmark Channel movie, the Christmas movie, I finished this. It says, "You can keep your glass slippers," and it's got this really pretty boot. I stitched this in coloring cotton. I don't remember the colors. So sorry. I think one was Bombay and one was something I don't remember. That's for sure. You can message me if you really want to know, but I don't know what this is from Dirty Annie's, and hers called for Straw Hat and Rose Petal, but I used what I had, and I do love the variegation. I think it's very pretty. Very pretty. This is on 28 count antique white. It was one of the scraps I got from one of those bags that Deb had at Camp Stitch-A-Lot's Annex. So that worked out. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. Do you have any ideas? If you have an idea of how I could finish this, I stitched it for my cousin, and she's a horse type of person. And I was thinking an ornament, but it's not very Christmassy, and I kind of think that she'd probably like to keep it all year round. So maybe something else. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I got this. I'm pretty sure that Megan found me this. No, did I find it? I think I found it in one of the freebie boxes. Sometimes people find me stuff in there. Anyway, that's my finish, my single finish. Now I have some haul and a story. So I got some stuff in the mail, and some of it just arrived, like just after dinner, before I started this, and I have a lot of thoughts about this. this was my normal Floss Fix. It came chewed up. Like the package is all ripped up and there's like a puncture hole. But this is the Floss Frenzy Week Dye Works. And I think it's really, really pretty. Darks. It has blackboard, gunmetal, charcoal, onyx, coal, and mascara. And I really, really like it. I got that. I also, when I ordered, okay, listen. I like it when people shout out shops because sometimes when I'm shopping online, I'm like, what if this is a bad one? But it's not. But my November wordplay and I got my December wordplay in the mail from a shop I ordered from the Stitcher's Garden. And she packaged it really nice and she included a needle. I've never had anybody include a needle before. Have you? I just thought that was very, very nice. So with my 2 patterns, she sent a needle. So if you're ever on Etsy, check out the Stitcher's Garden. She's pretty amazing. And then separately, I ordered some more stuff on Fat Quarter Shop. I ordered some fabric, and I don't remember why. But I was one night this week. Okay, I've been on a social media freeze for like all of October. I was pretty much off of Instagram and Facebook. It was just very stressful and I was mismanaging my time a lot. So, after I posted my video last week, I got on and I told people that I did it. And they probably shouldn't watch it because it was really lame. But I had Instagram on my phone for like a day. And then the next day I really couldn't sleep. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night. I can't remember which. I couldn't sleep. And I think it was because of so much scrolling and a lot of information and stuff that was frustrating or whatever. So anyway, so I was texting with my friend Holly. Do you know Holly? I met her at a cross stitch retreat. She actually, okay, listen. I'll tell you how I met Holly and Tammy. So at StitchCon in Ohio in June, weekend B, I was going out to my car. I was coming back in from my car. I don't remember which. And I ran into them in the parking lot. And we just met up and I don't remember why we started talking, but we were and we chatted and then they were sitting across the room or whatever, so I didn't really chat with them anymore. And then when we went to the Stitches Etc. retreat in July in Indiana with the housewives finishing stuff, I had gotten there and my friend Megan and a couple other girls, Megan came with Lisa from Texas, and then they had gotten in the night before. And so when I got there, they were like, oh, we were up stitching in the lobby with all these girls that were really nice and we're going to sit with them. And so she was like, whatever. I was like, oh yeah, cool. That's good. So then I'm sitting down at our little table. Everything looks like Christmas. It's just very fun. And then these girls that Lisa and Megan had met in the lobby show up. And it's them. It's the girls I met in the parking lot. And they're just like the sweetest, like completely. And so they were doing the You Be Thankful Sal, and I stitched along. And then they will be doing the Joy and Good Cheer. I have it right here. I need to kit it up. Joy and Good Cheer. So Holly started the hashtag last week. And so anyway, so that's how I met Holly and Tammy. But Holly was, I was texting with Holly, and she was telling me about, I think I asked her when she was going to start that, and she said, well, she has to do her MFE work first. And I said, what? What is that? And she said it's her Modern Folk Embroidery Sal. And it's like divided in, it's like a monthly thing. And so she likes to keep up. And she can't stitch something for fun unless she has stitched what she's, committed herself to, which is fun. I like to set myself little boundaries too, but I thought it was hilarious because she considers it like her stitching work before her stitching play, which whatever you have to tell yourself, stay on track. Go ahead. I do stuff like that too all the time. I have no judgment, zero judgment. Anyway, so I was texting her and I look up Modern Folk Embroidery because I was like, why is this stressing Holly out? And oh my God. Then I went down a horrible rabbit hole of possibly buying all of them, buying none of them, buying all of them. I don't think that I'm the type. Last time when I said I stitch everything, that was not true. That was not true. I don't stitch those ladies, those pretty ladies with all the beads. My friend Sarah, she stitches with the Anchor Bay Stitching Group, and she goes to Camp Stitch a lot. She stitches those Mirabellas and the Bella Filipino? No, it's not. You know, the pretty ladies with all the beads. She does those. I don't. I appreciate them, and I think that they're nuts. My friend Alma, who I met at StitchCon too, she stitches Mirabella. Or maybe it was the other one. And then she gave it away, and I was like, what did you give instructions? And if there's a fire, they must grab this cross stitch before they grab their children or animals. But anyway, she's very generous. But I don't stitch those. Also, I have a great appreciation for samplers, but I have yet to stitch like a legitimate sampler. I own some, but I haven't had the guts yet. So the fact that I was looking at modern folk embroidery patterns, and I started watching his Flosstube, and I was just totally impressed, totally in love. And so then I started buying stuff. It was like late at night. I ended up, I had to go watch a movie. Didn't get to bed till like 4 a.m. My butt was dragging the whole next day. So I ordered this from Homespun Sampler on Etsy. And I bought this. And I'm terrified. I like love it. And I can't believe what was I thinking? I think I intend to stitch it in blue. Probably these exact blues. I have no idea what kind of fabric I'm going to use because you know I'm an Ada stitcher and I can't do it as 28 count. So I'm thinking I'm going to look for an 18 count because it's a big old thing. It is so pretty. Am I the last one to find out about these? I am not sure, but I sure am glad I know now. So I got the Fruits of Plenty. Looking for me on New Year's Eve. That's where I'll be, stitching the Fruits of Plenty. And then while Steph always says that no pattern can travel alone. That doesn't mean you have to buy 4. But that's usually what I do. I bought the Prairie Schoolers, one for the crow. This is a very interesting thing. Someday I'll tell you about this. Sow 4 seeds in a row, 1 to rot, 1 to grow, 1 for the rook and 1 for the crow. One day I'll tell you a little gardening story of fun. Did I just flash that chart? I'm so sorry. I also bought this one, Bent Creek hen. Thought that was adorable. Super cute. And if I can get through this segment without flashing the chart, wouldn't that be great? And then I got the Prairie Schooler Autumn Samplers. I don't know that I'd even seen these. I've seen the winter ones. I love that Thanksgiving one. I think that's first on my list. I don't have time to kit that up right now, do I? Wouldn't that be fun to stitch? Or taking the whole week of Thanksgiving off. My son's homeschool, or our homeschool. And so maybe I can stitch on that. Actually, no. No. Because you know what I need to do the week that we have off for Thanksgiving? I need to clean my house. Because it needs to be deep cleaned. Because I live in the country. And, you know, now we're trapped in here with all of our dust and stuff like that. Is there anything else I forgot? I don't know. No idea. But I'm glad you're here. And thank you for being a subscriber. If you aren't and you just wandered upon, go ahead and subscribe if you want. You don't have to, but you could if you want. Leave me a comment. Ask a question about something if you wonder. I don't mind people being nosy. It's not being nosy to just ask a general question. I'm just saying. Anything else? I can't remember. This week, we have my son has 2 hockey games on Saturday and Sunday. And then I can't think of anything else that's going on. Oh, yes, I can. This Friday, the public schools in this area have Veterans Day off. And so I asked for my nieces if they would like, because they have talked about sewing and wanting to learn how to sew. So I asked if they wanted to take a little cross stitch class from me on a day that they had off, because their moms still work. And they said, yeah, so it's this Friday. I've been kitting up little, I'm going to flash it. Don't worry me. Little kits of just a little Lori Holt pattern. And then, so on Friday, I'm going to go over and teach 5 tween girls. Some of them are teenagers. They're like 10, 11, I feel like I don't know. 13 to 10. There's 5 of them in that range. I'm sorry, I'm terrible. But I'm going to go over to my mom's house. We're doing it over there. And then I told my mom she should do it too. And she was like, oh, I can't see the holes. And so I'm going to take some readers for her so that hopefully she can try it. I think she'd like it. She used to do crewel embroidery in the 70s and 80s. But anyway, so that should be exciting or horrific. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that it's amazing. I just went to get some little papers to, like, because I had cut the strings. I had cut the threads, but I wanted like little like thread keeps type of thing. So I'm going to do that probably tonight. And I don't know. So I hope you've been stitching. I hope you've been watching Hallmark Christmas movies. Oh, the one, which one was it? It was the one, it was called Ghosts of Christmas Always. That was very sweet. Did you want that? That was very sweet. Anyway, so I hope you have a great week. I hope you get a lot of stitching in. I hope I didn't flash any charts. And I'll see you soon. Maybe next week. Maybe if I stitch. Maybe I'll quit stitching after this class. If it's a disaster, I don't know. So Holly did make that hashtag joy good cheer. I think it's hashtag joy good cheer Sal. And the girls at Two Needles Pulling Thread, Missy and Kathy, are going to participate. And then Tammy and Holly are. I'm doing it. A couple other people are as well. You should go look for the hashtag or look up any of those persons and stitch along if you want. It's very, very cute. I act like it's a serious, but I don't think that it is. But I just think it's like the same pillow size, and it's kind of the same design, like of the bowl, the house, and is it a series, you guys? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but they're having a sale. Remember, you can find me over on Instagram at Teresa McMath01. So I have a lot of stuff over there. I haven't been posting a lot because I've been off of social medias and stuff, but there's lots of snooping to do. Lots of geese photos. Lots of geese photos. And there's like a fair bit. So, a lot of gardening and geese stuff. So you can see why I named this channel the Garden Goose Stitcher. One day I'll tell you about how I have to say that very slowly, because I almost always say golden goose. So, anyway, happy stitching, friends. I'll see you.